Good morning, everybody. All of my children are still asleep, so I figured right now would be a great time to film so that I'm not being repeated and followed around the house. We are
Dalton Gang.
I am sitting in our new house. We've been here for about a month and we really like it. We've gotten settled in and we feel good about it. And I was editing some YouTube videos yesterday and I realized that I did film about how we got this house and the God story that is, and so you'll see that after this one. But I never filmed about God story number 1, which is how we ended up selling our old house. So as y'all know, we spent a whole lot of money on renovations at the end of 2020 because we knew that we wanted to sell that house because we had bought land and we wanted to move out to the country. Well, you know that YouTube video we have up where the renovations didn't exactly go as planned. We ended up having to fire the contractors. It just wasn't a good situation. So we had put all this money into it and it did not look good. There were things about it that were, decent, and it definitely looked better than when we started, before the renovation started, but it was definitely not worth what we had paid. So anyways, my prayer during that entire time after the renovation, knowing we needed to sell this house, but we didn't have any more money to put into it, my prayer was, Lord, either make it right. So I was thinking, have the contractors come back and say, here's your money. We felt really convicted about what we did. It could happen. Or make it all right. Make it be all right. Have somebody say, okay, we'll buy it. We like it. And just whatever. Have them like it. Even though it's not in the greatest condition. So that was in late January, and so we knew that we wanted to sell it at some point in the summer because we had heard that the housing market would be really good for sellers in the summer. So we just kind of sat around. We didn't really know what to do. We didn't know what realtor to go with. We didn't know whether to list it with the realtor or try to sell it ourselves. We didn't know, should we try to put more money into it and get it to look nicer? We just really didn't know, and we kept going back and forth, and all of these things would happen. We thought initially we were going to get an investor to buy it as is just to get out of it. Then we were thinking, no, let's fix it up more and then sell it for a lot, or let's just try to sell it as is to a family that wants it. So we just went back and forth a whole lot, and naturally, my mind was just so tired of thinking about all these scenarios and what could happen with each of them, that finally I just threw my hands up and I was like, okay, I'm done with this mental battle that's going on right now. I surrender it to you, Lord. And it was then that he gave me lots of peace, and I felt like he was telling me, Amber, just enjoy the house right now, because when it sells, it's going to be very fast. And that was true. That was so true. So at that point, I had just surrendered and I said, you know what, Lord, if you want somebody to buy this house, I know that you will move us in your timing. So I need you to have somebody come knock on our door and say, hey, I want to buy your house, and then we know that that's how it's supposed to happen. So I just started praying this, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to put any effort into it. I'm not going to seek out a realtor at this point. I'm not going to seek out another construction company. We're going to trust you, and I trust that what you're telling me is true, that when it sells, it's going to sell fast, and so I'm just going to enjoy my time in this house. So I was on this Nextdoor app. It's kind of like a social media kind of thing, but just for your neighborhood people. So the neighborhoods close to you in your own neighborhood. I noticed that somebody had posted from our old neighborhood and said, hey, is anyone wanting to sell their house this summer? My sister-in-law wants to move here and she wants in this neighborhood. And so I replied, and I'm like, yeah, we actually do want to put it on the market at some point. And so literally her sister-in-law flies down from Missouri like a week later, knocks on my door, comes into our house, looks at it. We tell her, you know, what our situation is, all that kind of stuff. She comes back with a realtor to look at it, and then she has the realtor come give us an offer for as-is condition, and it was actually what we were wanting. So, I mean, that's a total God story. It's amazing. So I just tell you this to encourage you. I know a lot of people are putting their houses on the market right now, or really considering, and they don't know what to do, because it is such a good market for sellers right now. But I just encourage you to listen to the Spirit and to pray and to trust that God's going to answer your prayer, to really believe, you know, that He's going to answer your prayer, and just trust that He's good. I said it in another video. All of these videos are getting mixed up. I apologize, because during this whole process I wasn't filming a lot. Moving, I've only ever moved like twice in my life. Once to Mississippi before we got married, and then once we got married we moved into another home, and then we moved into this past home, and we've been there for 10 years. So it's been a while since I moved, and I forgot how stressful like just so much stuff to think about, so much stuff to take care of, that I did not pull out the camera to document any of it. So I apologize. We are in our new home, and I'm gonna share with you what it looks like and how we're settled in and stuff. We'll be getting the kids started with homeschool again soon. It has been a long time. Oh goodness. With all the house renovation, we were out of our house for like 2.5 months, so school did not happen then, and then with the whole moving process, it did not happen then either. So I'm hoping to get into a really good routine and to just enjoy teaching my children and watching them learn, and just praying over them every day that God would give them the knowledge that they need, and most importantly, a love for Him that will change their hearts and their minds. So that's where we're at. Thanks for watching this video, and go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more from the Dalton Gang. And until next time.